What's up, people? So, several months ago, I made a video about I made a video about standard characters I think you should avoid. That was 8 months ago, and obviously a lot of things have changed. So, I'm going to walk through all of the standard characters, not really caring about talents or how easy they are to play. I'm just going to be talking about, like, them from a general sense, which ones I recommend you actually play, etc, etc. As always, you can click to the end of the video just to see the finished chart that I'll post up, and also in the description you can check out the Japanese player tier list I compiled this information from. So this is going to be a long one, so let's go ahead and get started. So first things first, let's talk about Hikari. This character is okay. She is a very basic, shooting character. She essentially waits until her install is up, and then she has nice funnels, and she has 2 Garubis. I think she's okay. Like, she's not a bad character to play. I think there are some inherent issues in her just having to wait a really long time for an install that's just kind of like, it's not really like it's okay. She's a good solid character, there's nothing wrong with playing her. However, I'm not going to personally say that I recommend her. Cherub. This is the character I recommend. Not only do you just go ahead and get her, can you get her to talent level 1 within a week of playing the game from the freebies that you get? This character has pretty much never been bad. Like, learning how to play this character is a good investment for you as a player because she's really basic. She kind of just like plays the game at a really fundamental level, and she is really good right now, and historically has pretty much never been bad. Highly recommend that you give this character a shot and put her on your roster. Elfin, no. I don't recommend this character at all. This character is... I think you should avoid playing this character, especially when you're starting out. She has been nerfed repeatedly, and at this point, I mean, you can win with her, but she has a very, very like specific kind of game plan where she kind of chains moves from red to green, and she's like a weird, very slow sniper character that, like, when you look at her kit, it's not really actually intuitive how to play her. You actually would have to go watch like Romatin vids and figure it out, but I really just don't recommend that you play her. Like, there's so many options that you can pick that are much less intensive starting out. Like, this character is probably gonna get reworked sooner than later, but right now I just don't recommend that you touch her. Rasiel, this character she's solid. She's like more of a close ranged all-rounder, if you will. I would say her biggest feature is that I think she is actually the fastest 3-cost character in the game. She's really, really quick, and that gives her a lot of repositioning ability and the ability to kind of like run anybody down. She doesn't have like the craziest amount of firepower, but if you are somebody that likes mobility, this is definitely a character to check out. A little bit harder than Cherub to get off the ground, but I would say that she's a solid pick, and she works really well at low talents too, so I would definitely say try out if you want. Qiuyu is another character I really do not recommend. From her really just wanting to have talent level 4 to even start being played, to kind of similar to Elfin, she has like a really, really strange game plan that is not intuitive. She essentially kind of like plays hit and run with Redlock extension, and she has the ability to teleport, which is very... I'll be honest, like, it's really hard to make use of this, like, when you're starting out. Like, it requires a lot of situational awareness and timing to really get the value out of this character's kit. And even when you do that, I really just don't think it's a good idea. She's, like, you can, but I'm just gonna say I wouldn't recommend it. Next, we have Keep the Dead. This character is... I think she's really good. She is an install character, but when she's out of install, all you're really gonna have to worry about is kind of just like, she has this really, really, really strong sub projectile. You pretty much just gotta chuck those out, and then when you are in install, there's a lot of things that she can do in install, but once again, she has very, very powerful projectiles that are really intuitive to use, and starting off as a new player, You can get a lot of value out of just like, you know, pressing these really easy to use buttons. She gets, and she doesn't really need a lot of talents to get started. You know, you want to get more, but she's quite good. Very solid character. I would definitely recommend just checking her out if the, you know, the kind of zombie concept appeals to you. We got Sharp. This is another good solid character. She's a little bit more in depth than some of the other shooting characters. She has a lot of moves that are kind of weird. Like she can summon, like she can give herself a shield. She has a big wall that she can summon that works really well in Greenlock. She has like kind of a weird main shooting that kind of fires twice and she can use it while moving. But this is a really solid character, and if you kind of like a more defensive shooting oriented style where she doesn't have a lot of movement, but she's like kind of like a wall in terms of trying to push on her. I definitely recommend her. Well, very solid. Kaze, this is a very popular character with new players, kind of like to their detriment. She is very mobile. Like her kind of whole thing is just being super mobile, hard to hit. Like she's similar to Heavy Arms Gundam in XVIII, but with a lot more added. She has like a snipe. She's got, you know, really good melee. Well, I shouldn't say really good, but she has a lot more going on in terms of like firepower. She has like a lot of different tools. She has good melee counter. However, this character is like, she's decently high APM for Starward. And I think as a new player, you're really not going to get a lot of value out of her. But if you stick with her, if you really like her, you will definitely see results. She's a very strong character. So I would, you know, definitely check her out if that's really what you want. Just know that you're going to have to put some time in to get the results with her that you want. Xiaoling, she's okay. A lot of people fight this character in either like a 1v1 environment or just like not understanding how she works and like they think she's really strong. But she is, and she has been reworked recently, so she is stronger than she used to be. I wouldn't say like don't play her. She's a lot better than she used to be. They've given her like a really strong burst attack. They've given her a lot more variance in her kit that lets her get in a lot easier. She has super armor now. So if you like melee characters, this is one to check out. Just know that, you know, because she is kind of like a dedicated melee character, and this is a game about kiting and shooting primarily, it's going to be a little bit rough, and once you start playing against people that understand how to move properly, she's going to be a bit more difficult to play. Speaking of characters that, you know, move really well, Ffreedo is a very unique character. Her kit involves around riding around her broom, in which she has a completely different moveset. She has very strong offense and defense once you understand how she works. And her whole kit kind of like weaves together between her riding on her broom, exiting her broom. She summons, like if you're a Toho fan, like she summons lots of like funny orbs that she can destroy her enemies. She has a bit of a learning curve, but once you get into her playstyle, she has a lot to offer. And she's a very solid character that I would recommend to people that enjoy her concepts. Then there's 18. This is another very solid character. I would say her defining characteristic is that she has infinite ammo. So if you're somebody that just like wants to move and shoot without having to worry about ammo management as much, this is a great character to think about. All you do with this character is just move in the right position and shoot and confirm. She also, though, she has like really solid melee. So if you want to go crazy and burst, you can take F with her and kind of go out off on people. Very versatile character. She has very good defense as her sub melee lets her essentially cut tracking on that first hit. So this is a very mobile shooting character that also has, you know, solid all range. Very solid. Let's talk about, let's talk about all the 2 costs now. The first one to avoid, I would say this, so Seraph, this character has been nerfed a lot, and as of the recording of this video, she has not recovered from all of those nerfs. She is a 2-form character. I wouldn't say she's that hard to play, but the issue is that they have nerfed the way that her shooting works, where before it used to reload all the time. Now it only reloads once they're all empty. So her uptime on her sniper mode is much, like, it's a lot less reliable. So I Honestly, I don't recommend this character. She's very weird, and there's gonna be a lot of it's gonna be really frustrating when you play this character, because there's gonna be games where you feel like you're doing everything, and games where you feel like you're doing absolutely nothing, because this character can get shut down super hard by people that understand the matchup. And as of this recording, she is not exactly the strongest character. I would kind of avoid using her unless you're in 1v1, where she definitely still has like some good use. Scorpion, this character's okay. She's really funny. Basically, she runs around the map in her armor mode, and she shoots lava everywhere. The lava can friendly fire your partners. It can friendly fire you. It's kind of like, you know, turning the game into like a literal the floor is lava situation. So if you like playing funny joke characters that kind of like mess with how the game is played, she can be a lot of fun. She's not too difficult to play. Just kind of know that a lot of people will dislike you because she's definitely a griefing character. If you like griefing people, absolutely check out Scorpion. But she's kind of like on the F for me, you know. There's definitely some better characters that you could play if you want to win. Pallas, this character has been updated quite a bit recently, actually. Like, they've given her like a new forward melee. That's really cool. They've given her super armor. They gave her a new snipe attack. So, however, even with all of this, like, you know, all of this treatment, I would say that this character is still, she's she's very inconsistent. She's kind of weird. She kind of just like, because she's a lower cost melee suit, she can kind of struggle in a lot of matchups where she just doesn't have the performance to beat out characters in a 1v1. So you kind of have to like understand like when you can go in and when you can't. And I would say that that's like, you know, she's definitely a solid character, but she's not. I think she's definitely inconsistent, and she's a bit weird, especially if you're starting out. Which is, none of those things I just say can apply to Zakharova. This is probably one of the best characters you can play, like not only just like in general, but also for new players. She's like super simple. I mean, she's just all guns. They've made her a lot slower recently, so she's not as good as kiting anymore, but if you just like, if you rotate all of your guns and dump them on people, they're all super strong. She has an absurd amount of ammo, and she has a crazy amount of range, and you can just be dumping ammo on people and make their lives a living hell. Very good character, especially if you're playing without a partner. Just, you know, take advantage of the chaos created by Shuffle. Kind of on the opposite end of that spectrum, you have Aida. She's also a shooting-focused character, and while she also offers a lot of output, her projectiles are kind of less oriented towards offense and more towards defense. She has the ability to create a lot of defense in front of her. She can also move backwards while firing, which makes her, again, very mobile and hard to catch. She's very slippery. She also has a melee counter. This is kind of like a more defensive-oriented 2-cost shooting character. She's very, very strong, pretty much through the entire game's lifespan. Like, since I have started playing this game, this character has been very strong. Not super exciting, perhaps, but if you're just looking for a 2-cost character that's going to let you defend yourself, move around, and just kind of do all of the shooting you want without the fear of getting in danger, because you can always bail yourself out by, you know, putting 2 fences in front of yourself. Really good character to learn. Definitely recommend her. And, you know, you can get her very easily since she's purple. You don't need to invest a lot. Deucalion, kind of an eh for me. You get her for free T5. I would say the biggest thing about her is that she's like hyper mobile. She can essentially like backdash while dodging and chain that over and over again to move backwards really fast. However, I would say that the other thing about this character is that she has this really good bending Garobi beam that it's very strong, but landing this move is kind of a skill in and of itself. A skill that you're gonna kind of have to like temper over a period of time. Like the way that you hit people with this move is very tricky. So I would say that, you know, she's very vulnerable to getting jumped if you're not careful too. So I would say it's kind of an eh, you know. Definitely if you're kind of like that like Greenlock sniper mobile playstyle, you know, definitely check her out. Just kind of be aware that, you know, you might encounter some difficulty with aggression. Aida, So this is another character you get T5 just for booting up the game. She is, you know, she's always been solid, but now they've given her a very good assist that she has 2 ammo on, and I mean, you can just look at it from the preview. Like that's really, really fast. Really fast melee assist. She also gets Deucalion's Girobi assist. Really, really good. Like, this assist basically has brought her up a lot in people's evaluation. She's really easy to play. Definitely recommend that you check her out if you're learning the game for the first time. You can get a lot of results on this character while still, you know, finding your footing. So now I'm going to talk about the 1.5s. Roland, yeah, this character, so she actually recently did receive some positive adjustments. However, yeah, most people will still consider that even with those adjustments, I mean, they're nice, but this is essentially a melee character that excels in mobility, but she doesn't really have, like, the melee performance to really back up anything. So you can stick to people like glue, but once you get there, it's all gap, kinda, to, like, make it happen. And she really wants to get that first hit, because getting a hit with her puts her in a power-up state. And I would just say that because, one, she's a 1.5, she's already kind of inconsistent from there, but I would say that this is a very difficult game plan to play with any kind of consistency. I would not recommend this whatsoever. And finally, then we've got Snow Owl. This character's okay. This is like kind of similar to Seraph. I'd recommend her over Seraph, but at the same time, she's a sniper character, and depending on your opponents and your teammate, this character might feel like the easiest character to play in the game or the hardest character to play in the game. She's very, very vulnerable to getting jumped, and she's also very dependent on proper use of her burst skill, which puts her in a power-up state that makes her shots, like, absurdly strong for a period of time. If you want to try it, go for it. Just know that everybody is going to be looking at you and trying to end your life. And while she does have some defensive skills, like her grenades and her melee counter, it's rough. It's really rough to defend yourself. And if you're unable to do that, you will essentially be unable to do anything. Orchid. This is considered to be the strongest 1.5 in the game. Her big claim to fame is that she has the ability to turn invisible, and when she turns invisible, she is untrackable by shots. So you can use that for a crazy amount of things. You can use that to avoid punishment. You can use that to, like, aggressively, like, you know, put yourself in, like, really aggressive positioning so you can melee people. However, she is she's just like a straight melee character. She has like a Vulcan gun, but it's pretty much like, it's just kind of there for melee confirms. This is a very weird character, but if you do want to just kind of like try out like this kind of pure melee stealth assassin character, she's very good. Just understand that you're going to have to understand how it works, and it's not going to come as naturally as just like playing beta and pressing main and like assist. Finally, we have Katerina. This character is bad. Like, quantitatively, this character has existed in this game and has pretty much never been good. Now, that isn't to say that you can't win with her. She's perfectly viable if you want to take the time to, you know, learn her timings. Just understand that you will be working harder than other people, and it's going to be rough. It's essentially just going to come down to, like, you know, bursting on people and getting good hits with her melee attacks. And I just don't recommend that, you know. You can do it if you really want to, but in good faith, I won't recommend it. So yeah, that's all of the standard characters. I'll go ahead and put that chart up so that you can see it. And yeah, hopefully that's given you a kind of like a more comprehensive look at what all the standard characters do. You know, this game has a lot of options for new players, and you don't have to, you know, it's even totally free to play. You can still be very strong and competitive and ranked. So hopefully I'll see some of you there. Bye.